Chris's mic check. Yep. Welcome back to Give STL Day Live. I'm hoping my Facebook account doesn't sail away from playing a few seconds of music there. My name is Chris Shrub, the Giving Day guy. You are watching Give STL Day Live. And look, we got a special guest. This is Nikki Martinez from the St. Louis Community Foundation. Nikki, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun.
Nikki, you are going to take over the hosting duties here for our 3 p.m. hour. You've caught some of the streams that we've been doing so far today. Yep. Been fun? You got the vibe?
Yes, I got the vibe. This is so much fun. This is a really great way to celebrate Gives Day for us. So.
This is a super cool stage here too.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got such an awesome setup. So during this hour, we're going to start with Gateway Tykes on Trykes here in a moment. We've got some special guests. And then we're going to meet Tammy from the St. Louis Aquarium Foundation, who has really been just so incredibly helpful in getting us set up here in this space today. So we cannot say thank you enough to everyone here at Union Station. Jim, I know you're watching. I know Jim is tuning in. He's watching on Facebook Live. Jim is a tech guy here and got us all set up. We checked the download and upload speeds on the Wi-Fi network, and Emily was like, 350 download and 375 upload. Is that okay? And I'm like, that's gonna be okay. I think we can make that work. I think that'll be all right. So, Nikki, I'm gonna get out of your way here. We are going to get Gateway Tykes on Trykes here in position. Greg has the Trike cam this hour, which is just fantastic. So, Greg, if you're almost ready there with the Trike cam, I know that Faith is on her way to the live stage, but we can get our friends from Gateway Tykes on Trykes. We've got Lane, Michelle. We've got Michelle from Gateway Tykes on Trykes here. And I am going to get out of your way, Nikki. As Faith, yeah, you see Faith is on her way. There she comes. But for now, we have Michelle. We're gonna have you sit in the middle of the seat there. And let's get Nikki on camera here. And
Sitting here.
I'm gonna move the camera here and let you take it away.
Do I leave this here or do I clip?
You can hold it or clip. You can clip.
And then Dad is going to be part of it as well?
Oh, sure. Yeah, great. Dan.
David. Sorry, I said Dad.
Dad. Gotcha. So, Dad, we're gonna have you shift a little bit more towards the camera there. See that, Nikki? We're making it all work. How about we go like this?
We get a wider view. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Here we are. Nikki Martinez, take it away.
Thank you
the stage
so
is all
much.
yours.
Thank you to David and Michelle for joining us today. This is such a pleasure. I love Gives Day because I get to meet new friends and make connections with my old friends too. And Gateway Tykes on Trykes is a new friend for us. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do, what your mission is?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we're Gateway Tykes on Trykes is an organization here in town that we provide adaptive tricycles for children who otherwise would never be able to ride a bicycle or tricycle. And so we have fitting. We fit the child, and we can do everything from head support to support on their sides, give them assist when they pedal. We have a handle for the parents to hold if the kid gets too fast or gets too tired.
So do you work with like experts that help you put together these bikes and make them customized for each one of the kiddos that you work with?
Yeah, so it's an organization that the main organization called Ambucks, and we have a catalog and we can order from certain adaptations for each bike, and then we have a whole build team. And then we also have an occupational therapist or a physical therapist measure, make sure it's the right fit for the kids. And then when we deliver the bike, we also have a therapist there as well to make sure fits the kid appropriately and getting all their needs met.
Wow. So how do kiddos find you and families that need a trike? How do they find
So we're
you?
Gateway Tykes on Trikes with the Y in both. You can go to our website, gatewaytykesontrikes.org, or our Facebook page, Gateway Tykes on Trikes, and you'll see us there.
And Nikki, here I was saying I was going to run away, but I do want to play the video that you guys sent over. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we'll get back to our conversation.
We got the boy band going. Nice job.
Way to go!
Not too fast. How do you stop the bike?
Woohoo! Everyone's getting a workout today.
Wow, that was awesome. That looked like so much fun, and I know Greg has gotten some footage today of Faith on her bike. Right? Faith has really been making the rounds here today. How about it? Are you enjoying your day here? Yeah? Does Dad want to talk a little bit about how that bike is kind of helped out in the family and how things have gone for you with the bike?
Do you mind if I talk about it? Sure. Yeah. So we actually we got together with Tykes on Trykes when Faith was 4 years old, December of 2019, and just like what Michelle was going over, experts came out and actually was able to measure her and get her fitted specifically for this bike. We knew that she wasn't really going to be as able to, like some of the other kids growing up in the neighborhood, to ride a standard, typical two-wheel bike or trike, especially with the level of disability that she does have. So when we got together and she was given this, it was very exciting for all of us. Faith loved it immediately. She took off in it so well. She was able to wind up going just as far and as long as any of the other kids in the neighborhood, building her strength, allowing her to actually get the confidence that she could do to face other challenges that she was coming up against, especially with her peers. So we were extremely excited and very glad and hopeful in the fact that Tykes and Trykes was able to assist her in getting this stuff. So it's been a blessing so far.
So is this the first bike that she's
It's
received?
the first and
Okay.
only bike that she's had that she loves. We've tried other bikes and things like that, more like the Fisher Price type things and stuff when she was younger, but she just couldn't take off from that. So again, with the adaptive gear that they provide, it allows her to actually keep her feet on the pedals. Also allows for some of that strength to be transferred from leg to leg, which you would need. And all that's done because of what the experts at Tykes and Trykes provides us with in going out to the property, and actually they came to us and we were able to do that. So it's been pretty nice.
That's
And we
awesome.
also have a recycle program. So she's had this for 3 years, and she's just about going to be growing out of it soon. So then she will hand over her bike, and the build team will clean it up, make any adjustments they need to make, get it all ready for the next kiddo who's on our wait list who might need the bike, and then we'll order her a new bike.
That was my next question. How do you work with kids as they grow? Because obviously Faith is not going to be this size forever.
Yeah,
She's
so
gonna
all
need
the
a new
bikes are
bike.
adjustable in the length of them, the height of them, the handlebars. It all can make all these adjustments. So if you have weakness on one side, we can get certain handlebars that are helpful for that. All sorts of adaptions. We have done it all.
That's great. Can you tell people for Gives Day, what does this mean to you? Like, what do these funds, what kind of holes do they plug for you and your organization?
So presently, we have 25 children on our wait list, and maybe after today, we might have more after people hearing about this. And every bike is anywhere from $600 to $1,600. And so St. Louis, this is a game changer. So most families don't have that, so they have to either fundraise in their immediate families and or organizations in town to help pay for the cost of the bike. And so as the more money we have, the more kids we can get off a wait list, and hopefully more and more kids just enjoy the bike as much as Faith does, and all the self-confidence that goes along with being able to bike.
Yeah, absolutely. And how many kiddos are you serving annually, would you say?
So this past year we did 30. This year we are hoping to do around 40. Up to date since 2015, we've done just shy of 200 bikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's so fun to hear what parents have to say and the smiles on the children's faces. It's been a fun experience.
Absolutely. Well, what else do you want us to know about Gateway Tykes on Trikes? Is there
Yeah.
like we're missing your greatest needs, things like that?
Yeah. I mean, the greatest need is, like I just mentioned, is having the funds to buy the tricycles and give to the families and the children. Yeah, so they can be part of their families, and when they go on a family bike ride at Creve Coeur Park or wherever, they have their bike, and they don't get too tired. Or if they do get too tired, the parents have the arm handle in the back to assist.
Very cool. Do you have? Do you see any of your kiddos kind of getting older and getting really interested in biking or competition or anything?
Oh,
along
David
those
has a
lines?
great story for that.
That actually leads into I was actually able to forward this the need that Tykes and Trykes have to my organization, Company Guild Mortgage for the local Midwest region, and I actually had a loan officer reach out to me as well within our company, saying that Tykes and Trykes had helped his kid in learning how to ride his first bike, and that he actually went on to become a triathlete. So it was very exciting. They were able to get the confidence again, like I was mentioning, that Faith's able to build on to do the same thing. And again, that strength that comes from being able to do some of the same things that other kids can do, riding a bicycle or a trike, allows for them to go on to bigger and better things.
Wow, what a great story. Maybe Faith will be a triathlete someday.
We've actually got her in track and horseback riding and tennis and all that stuff. Absolutely.
That's great.
All stemming from this.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today. This has been such a great conversation. And
Thank you.
And thank you, Faith, for coming and showing off your bike and showing Greg all your moves. Can you wave?
I think Faith wants to say something.
Oh, would you like to say something? No.
She's okay.
She's like, no, I'd rather ride.
Yes, she will be.
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
We're going to take a 60-second break, Nikki, and we'll be right back. One, two, three. Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis.
Hear you guys, or?
Go ahead. You're good. You don't really need headphones.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy, for joining us. Tammy's from the St. Louis Aquarium here at Union Station. And first, we want to thank you again for hosting us on this beautiful Gives Day. It's just wonderful to be here. So
Our
thank
pleasure.
you.
We're so happy you're here.
Yes, thank you. This is awesome. Definitely the best place in St. Louis to be set up today and get a lot of foot traffic and enjoy the weather. So and get on the wheel.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
been
Yeah,
a
lots
great
of
time.
beautiful stuff.
So tell us a little bit about the aquarium. I know it's been a staple in St. Louis for a few years now, and how are things going for you guys?
Yeah, so we've been open for just a little bit more than 3 years now, and it's amazing to us that it's been that long already. But the really cool thing about the aquarium is that it is very interactive. So we strive to make sure that you get your hands wet, you get to interact with animals, and that really builds a unique connection to those animals.
Absolutely. And what do you have? Who'd you bring here today with
Well,
you?
right. So the Aquarium Foundation then is their mission is really about education and conservation education. So I brought some little things to show off. We've got our shark jaw. So you can meet 7 different species of sharks in our Shark Canyon. And if you are wondering, this is a model, not a real one, but we find these teeth all the time in our habitats because sharks lose their teeth throughout their lives and replace them. So you see there are like 3 rows of teeth here, and this is a real one. It would just grow in and then fall out and be replaced. So I kind of wish people could do that too, right? Right?
Yeah.
Another piece of education that we would do is about our stingrays. So we've got stingrays that you can pet. The stingrays don't have teeth like a regular shark or like a shark would. They have what are called grinding plates. And so these little things right here help them to grind their food up. That's a real one, and that's how they eat. So those are the kinds of things that our Aquarium Foundation educators would introduce to kids, and then we layer on a conservation message. So it's super important to be able to do things like reduce plastic use in order to take care of these animals that you've now met and really can care about.
Well, and how do you reach kids with these messages? Is this just the folks that are visiting the aquarium, or are there special programs or things like that they can join?
Yeah, there are definitely education that happens no matter when you're visiting, but we have seen so many school groups this year, and it has been wonderful to welcome all of those school groups, and that really is an Aquarium Foundation function. So for Give STL Day, an important part of the Aquarium Foundation is called Access for All. We call it our H2O Friends Fund, help to our friends. And if a school cannot afford our entrance admission, then we will fully fund their visit, their bus transportation, and make sure that they have the opportunity to come and learn about these amazing animals.
So are those the types of things that if a donation today on Gives Day would support?
Exactly, yeah. So our foundation, the great thing about the way that we're built is that the aquarium itself is a mission-based business. So we earn through our ticket revenues and everything what we need in order to feed the animals and pay our team and all that good stuff. So any donation that you make to our foundation is going 100% toward mission, toward that H2O Friends Access for All program, and toward, we go out and clean things up on the beaches. So all of that actual impact is what our Give STL Day donations will fund.
And what would you say your greatest needs are right now?
Well, it definitely is our H2O Friends Fund. It has been wonderful to see so many school groups here this year, and it has been a very popular program, so popular in fact that we are already nearing the end of our funds to distribute for the year, and that is from earlier fundraising. So we really need to replenish our coffers. We need to be able to have kind of a back to school push. Believe it or not, school's not even out this year, but we're looking ahead to this next school year, and we need some funds to help with our Access for All.
Very, very interesting. How many schools are you seeing come through annually?
Well, in 2022, we saw 5 times more schools than we saw in 2021, and we're on pace to have 5 times more this year versus last year. So it has just grown exponentially.
Wow, yeah, I can imagine the need has really grown since we've kind of exited COVID times, and kids are taking more field trips and taking advantage of all these great things that St. Louis has to offer.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we're happy to be here to do that.
And what are some things about the aquarium and your foundation that people in St. Louis may not know about?
Well, so we do offer the opportunity, if you want to get your hands dirty, as they say, we do a river cleanup once a month. So just go to the Aquarium Foundation website, and that'll give you all the dates. It's a range of weekday, weekends, during the day and at night, so that everybody has the chance to get out there. We have adopted the Mural Mile, And so it's so important because so many out-of-town guests see that area being right by the arch. And so we're very proud to be able to be doing our part to keep that area clean. But it's even more important about the waterway. So if you think about it, we're right there on the river, Mississippi River. That river washes right into the Gulf of Mexico. So people might be surprised to learn that by coming here and helping us with the river cleanup, you're helping animals in the ocean to stay healthy.
Wow, that's such a great lesson for folks. And you can volunteer for that by going to your website.
Exactly, which is stlaquariumfoundation.org.
Awesome. Well, I don't know how much time we have left.
We're going to wrap things up. I did want to jump back on real quick here. I don't think I'm on camera here, but Tammy, I definitely really wanted to thank you again for being so incredibly accommodating and helping make this space possible.
Absolutely, our
this week.
pleasure.
This was a dream for us at the foundation, and Tammy was like, "Sure, let's do it," And so to be able to make that possible is incredibly special. And Nikki, I hope you can feel that energy here.
Absolutely.
At Union Station
we had
too.
jugglers, we have people on unicycles, we got Faith running around on her little cycle. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We got people up in the wheel. I mean, couldn't be a better day so far. So
Tammy, we want to wish you the very best of luck during your Give STL Day campaign. I know I'll be making my donation later on today, and just say thank you, and yeah.
Truly our pleasure. Thank you for
Keep up the
being
great
here.
work.
Wonderful. Good luck to everybody.
All right, we'll be back, Nikki, momentarily with our next organization, all right?
That's why I was telling her.
The founder and executive director of the Hood Connect. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, it's just great. You're actually, I love to say about Gives Day, we have so many old friends that we see through Gives Day, but you're a new friend. We've not met before. I don't know a lot about Hood Connect, so could you talk a little bit about what you do and what your mission is?
Yes, so the Hood Connect mission is to address and reduce barriers that Black and under-resourced communities encounter, and we're doing the work through education, advocacy, and connection. But we also utilize a podcast, a community podcast that uplifts community voices. It's called the Hood Talks Podcast. We've been doing the podcast since December 2020. We're currently in our third season, and we have so many different segments that kind of helps community, again, uplift their voices, connect to resources, and also shed light on what other great organizations we have and services out there that's being provided to our community.
That's amazing. So tell us about some highlights so far in 2023 that you're excited about.
Well, we are in our third season again, and it's about to end in June. The Hood Connect, we are focused right now on two different things. We focus on the podcast, which again has several different segments, and I'll go quickly through some of our segments. We have the Hood Heals, where we talk to mental health specialists to help promote mental health in our community, and also make sure that we destigmatize mental health, connect folks to those providers that are of color, again provide any techniques or tools that people can use when they're dealing with certain mental health illnesses or issues or concerns. We do the storytelling segment where we really are geared to community and uplifting their stories, and we focus on things like incarceration, addiction, violence, homelessness. We've touched so many different things, and it's really authentic to telling the story of the community member. We do the Hood Needs, again, where we talk to nonprofit organizations and focus on what they do and how they support community. But the most fun part of it all, we do a community panel, a live panel every first of the month on a Saturday, where we come and we talk to a group of people and we talk about different topics. Lizzo was here last. We talked about Big Girls, It's Your World. That was our last current episode. We talked about this season Black women in mental health. We talked about bridging the gap in Black maternal health with BJC, SSM, and Generate Health, another nonprofit organization that's focused on Black maternal health. We have had so many different conversations, and one thing about us, we're not shying away from bringing all stakeholders to the mic to have these conversations that we need in our community.
That's amazing. It seems like you, in a short time, in just 3 seasons, you've brought a lot of St. Louis voices together to really highlight all of the things that are happening. What kind of trends are you seeing? Like topics that are important, to your listeners, people that things that they want to hear about?
I think for what I'm hearing a lot about is crime and violence in our community right now, in our area in St. Louis. Again, I hear that, there's not enough resources, but like right now, housing. There's a housing crisis, right? I hear that a lot. And so I'm actively trying to find those organizations that are actually helping with that so that we can highlight them and spotlight them and connect the community to those resources. So those are some of the things. Black maternal health is another one that we hear a lot, not just here in St. Louis, but we're hearing around the world, and that's one that's been uplifted. So we hear so many things, and we talk about so many things, but our main focus is uplifting community voices, making sure that they're at the table and we're hearing what they want and need, and then providing the resources and connection.
And this is why I love Gives Day, because you get to meet new friends, and after this conversation, I want to invite you to keep this conversation rolling, because it is my job to be out in the community and talk to partners and help kind of bring people together and forge partnerships. So any information you need, I'm really excited to keep this conversation going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about what Gives Day means to you, participating and what these funds can do in terms of growing your organization and doing more.
Oh, for us, it is it will be great if we can meet our goal of $5,000. When we first started the podcast, it was funded. Shout out to Flourish, STL. They funded us for $10,000. But since then, we were able to move the podcast and do what we need to do in the community, but we weren't able to keep that money going. So we've really been boots on the ground, hustle and bustle, fundraising, trying to get the funds to continue the work. I've been doing this alone, so having more funds will help me build out more of a team so we can do this more. I am definitely not a tech person, so like sitting here watching your setup, this would be something we would love to do in the future, so I would need help with those type of things. We want to get out in the community, but then also just our general cost of being a nonprofit now, and what that entails. These funds will help us cover those things. Streaming software, insurances, our baseline of just, excuse my thought process, but our baseline of just covering our monthly fees that we have, our CRM system, where we're trying to keep communication going. So all of those type of different things. Little things is marketing, advertising. We want to reach our community more. We want to get out in the community. We were just talking about how it would be nice to have had a nice little billboard or flyer or something up here stand with our information on it. We don't have those basic things, and we want to have that so we can get out in the community more and be present in the community.
And that's all such important things to talk about, because those are all things that the dollars raised on Gives Day do help to pay for. Those are unrestricted dollars that can allow an organization to really pivot and move in directions that they need to go. And I think that it's great to have you here and
thank you.
And hear more about you. Can you tell us how to access your podcast?
Yes. So the Hood Talks, and that's with the DA. I just want to emphasize that the Hood Talks is everywhere. It's on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, it's the Hood Talks Podcast. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Google. We're on iHeartRadio. Instagram, please follow us. Also follow the Hood Connect on Instagram, and that's also with the DA, and we're on Facebook as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was
Thank
so
you.
wonderful to have you here today, and I'm like I said, I'm excited to continue this conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing the conversation as well. Thank you for this
so much.
opportunity.
I do want to give you my card before you go.
Okay.
I gotta get a selfie with you.
You gotta get a selfie. Yes. Podcasters World. Yes.
We'll tag you on Instagram.
Yes.
All right?
Tag me on Instagram.
I'm all over it.
Thank you.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if I have a card.
Appreciate it.
Shavana, thank you so much for being here.
I'm doing.
Nikki's grabbing a card. We are going to take a real quick break as we look at that number up over our heads, $1.892 million. We'll be right back in a moment.
Hi everybody, this is Emily Bauman from the St. Louis Community Foundation. Let's take a look at our upcoming Power Hours. So during these hours throughout the giving period, we have a $20,000 prize pool that's up for grabs. Every donation made during a Power Hour, which are generously provided by our sponsors, is uplifted by that $20,000 prize pool. So if you want to make your dollar go further, donate during the hours you see on your screen now. The St. Louis Community Foundation would like to thank the sponsors that make Give STL Day possible. Give STL Day is powered by the St. Louis Community Foundation, presented by the Burgess Family Foundation. Our gateway sponsor is Purina. Our community sponsors are Cardinals Care, KMOV, 5 on Your Side, the St. Louis Business Journal, and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Our friends of Give STL Day are Clean, More Computing, and St. Louis Magazine. Our prize sponsors are the Association of Fundraising Professionals, St. Louis Chapter, Chemline Cares, Church Productions, Clifton Larson Allen, Voss Swim School, Incarnate Word Foundation, Nonprofit Marketers Network St. Louis, Splice, and SSM Health. Our decor partner is Balloon Theory.
Thanks to Emily for all the information on our sponsors. I think one of the things that really I think is so important to highlight about our sponsors is they're not just our sponsors. We work with them very closely, a lot of them, to do grant making with their employees and through their foundations and through their charitable work. So these are really good friends of St. Louis and the St. Louis Community Foundation, and we're just so excited that they are here to support Gives Day and just support the work that we do in St. Louis in general. So it's really great.
Take a look here.
Oh, we're up to $1.9 million, which is really exciting. This is such a great afternoon. And we're here now with Tepper Wells, who is the Development and Communications Coordinator at Creative Reaction Lab. And I'm a huge fan of your organization. You're an old friend and recipient of our Black Communities Investment Initiative grant from a couple of years ago. But tell everyone about some of the work that Creative Reaction Lab does in your mission.
Yeah, of course. But first off, whoop whoop to 1.9.
You got the mic, Tepper?
Oh, sorry. Yes, whoop whoop to 1.9. Got to put my mic on so y'all can hear the excitement. Yeah, so with Creative Reaction Lab, we're a nonprofit here in St. Louis City. We were founded in 2014 after the uprising in Ferguson, and from there it started off as a 2-day workshop that brought together different activists and advocates to incubate different social justice reform changes and ideas for the social justice issues that we were seeing that were going on, that were hurting a lot of communities. And from that 2-day workshop, it expanded to this almost 10-year organization. And so Creative Reaction Lab has been very fundamental in my growth, as well as hundreds of youth that have participated in it.
That's amazing. Can you talk about some of your partnerships? Because I know you have a lot of really key partnerships around the community, and you work with a lot of other organizations that are doing great work to really highlight, your efforts. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course, they're like family, but one of our partnerships is with the Contemporary Arts Museum in St. Louis. Shout out to Michelle, Miriam, all the folks over there. Right now we have a live exhibition with our A4E artist designs. There are posters now live at CAM to be viewed. And so we've had a multi-year partnership with them, along with different activities that we do, we have a collective impact program where we bring in residents from the JVL area here in St. Louis. They come up with an idea to beautify their neighborhoods in a way that brings in the voices of the folks that live in that neighborhood. So that's been one of the partnerships that has been near and dear to my heart, because CAM does a lot outside of art, but as well as in the community.
Very cool. And can you talk a little bit about the people that are participating in that program with CAM?
Yeah, of course. So Collective Impact is a program that right now we recruit individuals of the JVL area. So these are residents of all ages. We even have some of our youth participating in this program from our CDAP, our Community Design Apprenticeship Program. They transition from strictly Creative Reaction Lab participation to now following with our partnership with CAM. So that's been beautiful to see their transition in the way they've been staying involved as well.
Very cool. And talk a little bit about your participation in Gives Day over the last few years. How has that gone for you? What has that meant for you all?
Everybody's been so charitable in their giving. There's been a lot of support. Individuals like you, Nikki, have been so supportive of the organization, and we really lean in towards our supporters and our donors and individuals who just want to see Creative Reaction Lab grow. So being a part of Give STL Day is near and dear to Creative Reaction Lab's foundation, because we started here in St. Louis and a lot of our roots are here in St. Louis. So to be a part of Give STL Day has been full circle moment, and we've been doing it for a few years with you all, so of course y'all got to be doing something right if we keep coming back. So.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah.
We're always great to have you. What are some of those needs that funding from Give STL Day will help fill over the next year?
Yeah, of course. So our organization is a lot different than a lot of organizations that gear towards youth programming, because we compensate our youth for their time, for their ideas, for their energy. And because we know that we want to bring equitable change in the spaces of youth involvement and youth voices, we want to compensate them for their time. So with a $25 donation, you can pay for a youth's hourly wage in that way, or help them create their images with our partnership with Adobe. We have a partnership with them and allowing us to continue on with that software access for them. I'm actually wearing one of the designs right now created by our artists in our Artwork for Equity program. And we've made these into some limited edition t-shirts, but they're also available in posters and postcards. And so we really want to get that information and those products and their art and their voices and their expression out to the world. And so with donations and support from the community as well as organizations and community and corporations, it'll make that more possible.
Very cool. Very cool. And is there anything else before we go that you want our audience to know about Creative Reaction Lab, and any last messages about your Gives Day campaign?
Yes, of course. I want all of you all, if you have a smartphone, to follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at CRX Lab, and also just look into subscribing to our quarterly newsletter to get more updates and just different things to get involved and get a part of this call for action for Creative Reaction Lab as well.
And get out to CAM to see that exhibit before it's down. Free admission at CAM. So
exactly, it's free. Thank you, Nikki. That's why you are just the best at this. But we have our CAM exhibit up until July 9th. You can go by, take a look, grab a free postcard as well. We have a Write for Your Rights campaign where you write on the back of the postcard, you send it to a community leader to read your message about that social justice change that you want to see some emphasis made towards. And so come out, support, say hello to Michelle if you go by the CAM, that's my girl, and tell her that Tapper sent you. And Creative Reaction Lab appreciates all you all's support and Give STL Day.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate all you do too.
And do you have any messages to the donors or anybody watching? Any last minute shout outs you want to give?
Oh yeah, for sure. We want to thank our board of directors on our Creative Reaction Lab team. They've been super expressive and helpful in their donations, as well as our partnerships with Adobe, Meta, RAC, all the folks that continue to support our mission as Creative Reaction Lab.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Nice having you, Creative Reaction Lab. We look forward to seeing all the magnificent work you do.
Thanks, Greg.
All right.
All right, Greg, I'm coming in behind you. We're going to play a video from one of the visits to the 10-year organizations that we made yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to hear from Angel Band Project.
Oh yeah, I love those.
And then we're going to wrap things up. Nikki, you've been fantastic this hour.
Thank you. This
so
has
much
been so
for being
fun.
here.
Definitely
And
better
then
than sending out emails.
We're going to bring Elizabeth on for our 4 p.m. hour.
Yay.
So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So the Angel Band Project is a very small grassroots organization. We started in response to a personal tragedy. I lost one of my best friends to a horrific act of sexual violence. So we started this organization with literally nothing other than an idea that music could be used to really support people who have been impacted by this kind of violence. And so for 10 years now running, we have used Give STL Day as a way to support our music therapy programming budget. All of the programs that we sponsor are free of cost, so there's no barrier to participation.
Excellent.
Without the funds that we raise on Give STL Day, we would have to make choices on how many of those music therapy programs we can offer. So that's why it's so important for us to be a part of this day of giving so that we can truly give back to those whom we serve.
And why does your organization participate in Give STL Day?
We find that community support is essential to the growth and stability of our nonprofit community. We look at STL Gives Day as a wonderful chance for people to give as little as a few dollars or as much as thousands of dollars to support, the community nonprofits that are in this area. And really just through the efforts of our board, our donors, our clients, and our agency partners, we're able to really make a big impact that we wouldn't have without a day dedicated to giving to our nonprofit organizations.
Ari, I want to ask you, why does supporting this organization matter?
Survivors are often really alone, right? They don't have a huge community. They don't have as many resources as a lot of other communities do. And so through our organization, we are able to provide that community and that support to survivors of sexual assault and intimate partner violence and build up that community of support and belonging. And especially through this pandemic, that isolation has just increased. And so I think the need is truly bigger than ever. This is a song that many of our music therapists will use in session. They might use it in some creative songwriting aspects. They might use it in song discussion to reflect with the group on what they think the lyrics mean to them. And I think it's a pretty great song that represents what we do. So.
My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I've made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I've left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Divinity defined,
That was beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah. I need you to sing here more. You
Usually
did
the
the
door's
meetings. We
closed.
just need her to sing.
Usually the door's closed.
I
when
know.
you're singing.
I know.
Thanks to our donors, we were able to offer 13 music therapy workshops in 2022 across 3 states. We were able to serve 80 participants and offer 130 hours of music therapy, and that wouldn't be possible without our donors.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Yep. Where is my camera? Welcome back to Give STL Day Live. This is Christian, the Giving Day guy. Here it is 3:50 p.m. Central Time here in St. Louis. What a beautiful day. Thank you for being here with us today. We would definitely want to thank Nikki for hosting our 3 p.m. hour. And as we pivot into our 4 p.m. hour, we're going to bring on Elizabeth from the St. Louis Community Foundation. She'll be with us here momentarily. We have a few more great guests lined up now. If you haven't picked up on this yet so far from our live broadcast today, at the very top of each hour, we are graced by a 5-minute fire show behind us. One of these hours, we'll get the camera on it and show you kind of what's happening over to my left here, between the Ferris wheel and the aquarium. Now, you're like, Chris, why don't you just go show the fire show, just leave the cameras rolling? Well, unfortunately, Mark Zuckerberg does not approve of me playing copyrighted music. And so we can't show you the fire. We can show you the fire show. You can't listen to the fire show. But trust me, we all love listening to Katy Perry. So just like turn on shuffle, ask Alexa to play some Katy Perry songs for you, and you'll get the idea. We'll try and get the camera on the fire show for the 4 p.m. So I mentioned that yesterday Greg and I went and visited 10 participating 10-year nonprofit organizations. You just heard from Angel Band Project, which was a really, really special visit. We want to say thank you again to the folks at Angel Band Project for having us. The next video I'm going to play for you here that's going to get us right up to that 4 p.m. hour will be from Craft Alliance. Just a reminder too, if you are watching live, we would love if you left a comment. Let us know who you're looking forward to seeing. Let us know who you're donating to today. Sound cut out. When did we lose? I don't think we lost sound, did we? Okay, well. Oh, that was this morning. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, we're good now. I'm catching up on all your comments here. Greg, come here for a second. I think we've been in pretty good shape. So you can grab that mic there. We're going to play. The next video that we're going to play here is from Craft Alliance.
Oh, Craft Alliance, yep. I remember them.
And you got to lead this conversation yesterday. Pretty interesting organization.
Very interesting organization, especially what they do with clay making, what they do with some of the sculpturing. I think it's a very good organization for our community. They're doing wonderful things.
Let's take a few minutes here, and Greg, we're gonna play Clay Alliance. The other thing I just mentioned is we're gonna send you back out with the Steadicam at the top of the hour. We're gonna capture a little bit of the fire show so we can show people what's been going on.
Awesome.
I just explained, like, that's why we haven't started on time any of these hours. We got to wait for Katy Perry to stop singing. But we'll have Greg show off some of that and we'll talk through it a bit at 4 o'clock. So here you go. Here's Greg talking to Grant and Grant and Lowell from Craft Alliance. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Anthony, and today we are at Craft Alliance, and I'm interviewing Lowell and Grant. Thank you for having us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Yeah.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about Craft Alliance and how the organization has grown in St. Louis?
Well, Craft Alliance is a 60-year institution. It's been around for a long time. It started with a dedicated group of artists and slowly grew. We essentially had a house-sized location over down the street on Del Mar, about 2 miles away from here. And we just recently moved to our new building 2 years ago now. So we're pretty excited about celebrating our birthday pretty soon, in the fall. And we have a lot more space. We have a lot more kilns. We have wider, bigger studios, and we have a giant gallery space now, as well as a shop.
Definitely, all good stuff. Could you tell us exactly what Craft Alliance does in the community and what kind of services are offered through the organization?
Sure. Craft Alliance in the community offers a bunch of free or low-cost education and craft skills and experience. We have a lot of different programs that partner with, for example, St. Louis Public Schools and the Juvenile Detention Center. But one of our big things is called Crafting a Future, where we take about 30 young artists, their ages 13 to 18 or so, and we teach them craft skills over the course of essentially a full school year. They end up having an exhibition over in our main gallery. They can take classes with us. It's a good professional development exercise for them for about 4 years.
Cool. Grant, so I wanted to turn it over to you. What can you tell us about Craft Alliance and its impact on the community?
Yeah, Craft Alliance is an arts educational center that focuses on educating and inspiring the community through contemporary craft. Craft is making things with your hand, essentially. You are making objects to use, to tell stories, and so we offer classes in ceramics, fibers, metals, printmaking, paper arts, glass, blacksmithing, that a huge swath of the population in St. Louis can take part of. We offer classes for younger students, adults, school programs, and it's really all educating the community through contemporary craft.
So I wanted to ask you, I'm aware that you are a 10-year organization for the Give STL Day. Why did you choose to work with St. Louis Community Foundation for those 10 years?
I think that really harkens back to the ability to give back to the community. You know, Give STL Day has done a lot of hard work to make this network of people that are giving, and we are proud to be part of that community.
We are trying our best to bring craft to all people in St. Louis, and you know, those programs and possibilities and experiences for youth, adults, families is not possible if we're not connecting with the community for donors, and we really appreciate all the help that you do to make those possibilities happen.
What is the impact of a $50 donation during Give STL Day this year?
That's actually big. The impact of a $50 donation is, well, for one of my programs, it's art materials for that student for the entire year. In some of our cases, it is funding for different parts of our mural, either it going up or just plain old the materials and ability to create that. It goes towards hiring more regional teachers that are passionate about the arts and passionate about giving back. That $50 stretches a long way, actually. To all of our donors that choose to give back to St. Louis's art community and create more young artists, and especially a safe place for them to really experiment and learn who they are before they get to go to their post-secondary. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you guys in our galleries. We hope to just see you in our studios.
Thank you, St. Louis!
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Ampadu, and today I'm interviewing Kate McCurran of I Thrive St. Louis. How are you doing today, Kate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. So, Kate, can you tell us a little bit about I Thrive?
Absolutely. So I Thrive is a local St. Louis-based independent nonprofit that makes an immediate and measurable impact by providing essential vision services, things like vision screenings, eye exams, and glasses to kids right here in St. Louis. We do this through our signature mobile vision clinic, which was specifically designed to eliminate the barriers of access, time, cost, expense, and deliver the services right where our kids are, which is at schools, summer camps, and neighborhood libraries. 90% of the glasses we produce are made on site and delivered on site, which means kids come on board, get a full comprehensive eye exam, and walk away with the glasses they need, going right back to class ready to learn, all in about 45 minutes.
That's fantastic. That's very, very good. And we all know the importance that eyesight is to our children in St. Louis. And as you mentioned, being able to get access to that is, such a phenomenal thing for the community.
Mm-hmm.
So what has been the impact that you have seen I Thrive provide in the community?
Yeah, so just from like an outcomes perspective, this year alone, we'll visit more than 160 different sites, schools, community centers, and we will provide more than 12,000 kids with vision screenings, 4,000 kids with eye exams. We'll dispense more than 5,000 pairs of glasses on our clinic and another 2,000 pairs of replacement glasses. But the impact really goes beyond that, and really dialing into the individual student, right? Vision impairment is a really complex issue. We know that 1 in 4 kids has a vision impairment, and we also know that with early detection, 80% of long-term issues can be resolved with a pair of glasses. And so it's a simple tool that can really make a big difference in the immediate sense and also the long-term.
Definitely agree. And you mentioned the glasses and how that can have an immediate impact. We actually have a pair of glasses here.
Yes.
Would you mind telling me about this particular model and what it does?
Yeah, so this is one of our donated frames from one of our many in-kind supporters. And this prescription is similar to a prescription we recently, of a student we recently saw. She was a first-time glasses wearer, had never received an eye exam before, and she had a very significant astigmatism, which means she couldn't really see things up close or far away. And so you can imagine all the things she was missing out. And so she was able to put on her glasses and instantly see her world clearly, and it was just really a remarkable moment. Things like she held her hand close to her face, she pointed at the dandelion and asked what was that. It was instantly, everything was in focus, and she was able to navigate her space and her environment safely and finally see the classroom board and the book that she was reading.
All right, so we have Chris Strub, who is going to demonstrate the effect of these glasses by reading a book. Chris, you want to take over?
So Kate, I've got good vision, no glasses.
Mm-hmm.
This book, pretty simple.
Yes.
Right? Dear Duncan, not sure if you can remember me. Okay, we got the maroon crayon.
Yes.
All right, but now I'm going to try the glasses on.
Yes, so this is basically what a child would see without their glasses.
And I'm going to turn to a random page, so I don't know what it says.
Okay.
This one's black. I'm like physically in pain, trying to cross my eyes, and I cannot read a single. That looks like a pig, maybe? Is that a pig? But
it's like a pig monster, maybe.
Pig monster. I cannot interpret a single word on that page.
And that's the reality for so many of our kids without the glasses they need.
It's shocking and somewhat painful.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just think about navigating your life with that type of uncorrected vision. Not only can you not read the book, but you can't navigate safely in the world around you. We have high schoolers that have never had a pair of glasses, yet they're driving cars.
I couldn't make it back to my phone with that kind of vision.
Right.
That's disastrous.
Yes, it absolutely is. But the great thing is there's such an easy, immediate fix, and that's a pair of glasses.
Okay, would you like to share a word of thanks to our donors?
Absolutely. Every single donation makes a direct and immediate impact to our kids, and we are just so thankful to our community here in St. Louis for believing in us, and most importantly, believing in our kids. From our whole team here at iThrive, we wanted to share a big
Thank you, St. Louis!
We will be back as soon as this Blink-182 song stops playing. I apologize. Elizabeth, all the small things by Blink-182 wrapping up here at Union Station. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us. Going to be hosting the 4 p.m. hour. This is Elizabeth George from the St. Louis Community Foundation. She'll also be helping us with the 6 p.m. hour later on this evening. And this morning you got to speak to Kelly from the Burgess Family Foundation. That was a great conversation.
That was a fun conversation.
You got your mic on there. You're good.
I do. I forgot I had my
Yep.
mic on.
We can't say enough thanks to the Burgess Family Foundation for their support of the day.
As our presenting sponsors, they are the engine that helps to make sure that all of these 1,100 nonprofits have an opportunity for prize money. So as you said, we cannot thank the Burgess Family Foundation enough.
And over $200,000 in that prize pool this year. That's really impressive.
Yeah. Over $200,000. And we have a number of sponsors. You will see them all if you go to www.givestlday.org. And Chris, we have to say what happened at the top of the 4 o'clock hour.
Moments ago, the fire was shooting off here at Union Station. $2 million.
We broke the $2 million mark. Thank you.
Watched you here with our guests who are waiting here, coming on camera here momentarily. Let out a little yell of excitement, and it was just wonderful to see. And now we're on the march to $3 million. We're not going anywhere. Come on down to Union Station. There's so much fun stuff here. There's food, there's drinks, there's entertainment, there's fire shows every hour. And most importantly, Elizabeth, we've got some wonderful guests, and I'm going to hand the microphone over to you and let you introduce our first guest, Kathleen, as we get her on camera.
Fantastic. So thank you, Chris. Is Kathleen up?
Kathleen is on her way.
Well,
there she is.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce Kathleen Hsu, the Director of Communications and Public Relations for St. Louis ARC. Now, the ARC is one of those long-time, very important institutions in the St. Louis community. Kathleen, tell us a little bit about the ARC.
So the St. Louis ARC has been around for over 70 years. In fact, come 2025, we will hit our 75th anniversary. But we provide supports and services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout the entire St. Louis region. Supports and services include employment services and supports, residential services, an embedded program in the North County area to work with children in different daycares to get them early intervention services. We have a Parents Learning Together program which helps parents who have disabilities get the skill set that they need to be good parents and getting their children to doctor's appointments, making sure they're getting their schooling and all their education. We also provide leisure supports and leisure services, so people are out in the community having fun, playing sports together, day programs, but we're in St. Louis County, St. Charles County, St. Louis City, and we have a couple of our programs that are now in Jefferson County as well.
That is fantastic. You guys have just a couple of things to get done during the day, don't you?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And you told me that you have a goal for Give STL Day this year. What is that goal?
So our goal is $5,500. So it's not a grand goal, but it's a great goal because $5,500 does help us fill in certain areas of support and funding gaps. One of the things that we will use money towards is we provide scholarships to our leisure participants. So folks that want to play sports with us but may not be able to afford to, we provide scholarships for them to be able to play those sports with us or to go to our R&R camp. So we do provide those supports and services, so money that people give actually directly will impact our participants so that they can be active and engaged in the community.
That is so fantastic, and we know that in today's world, being out, being active is so very important. How is that with people with disabilities? Do you find that they have extra need for those leisure activities, or?
You know, just in general, I mean, just like anybody else without a disability, we want to work in our community, we want to live in our community, we want to play in our community, we want to have friends and natural supports. People with disabilities need and want those same things, so we provide those opportunities. Our day services program provides community engagement, so we take people out in the community and support them as they volunteer in the community, that they go to the zoo and have activities and different engagements. We have friends, you know, our friends in the community welcome our participants in. They know people by name now. They love to go to the coffee shop, have a cup of coffee, sit and chat with people. So as you get people out in the community, people with disabilities are just like anybody else. They just want to be included and engaged with and respected. And that's what we help provide, is that respect, inclusion, collaboration, and empowerment. We want to empower people to be independent, and we support them to do that so that they have choices, that they can live their lives the best way they can.
That is fantastic. So what are some of the organizations that you partner with to make sure that our folks, your folks, have these opportunities to be out in community and to live that full life?
So we have partnered with Missouri Botanical Garden. We have folks that will go and volunteer there. Some of the local pet rescues. Folks, we have, during COVID, big thing, hard to get folks out in the community, but to keep them active and engaged. We had them shredding newspapers and doing things to get things ready for maybe the APA or one of the other shelters, so that they had bedding and shelter materials for their puppies and their kittens and different things. We get them out in the community, also working. So we have several partnerships around town, Schnucks, Deerbergs, but then Sandberg Phoenix has employed somebody with a disability through our organization. So the community is incredibly engaging, incredibly welcoming, and once they get to know folks, they realize how much people with disabilities have to offer, and that they really want them to be engaged and part of their organization and part of their community as well.
You know, you just said something really important, I think, and that is that sometimes I think we don't give quite enough credit to people with disabilities and the wide range of things that not only they are able to do, but that they may want to do.
Exactly.
So people might not always want to work at Schnucks,
right,
or some of the places where we're used to seeing people with disabilities working. And you mentioned Sandberg Phoenix. I think that's fantastic. Do you know what the person that was working there is doing?
So last I heard, with Sandberg Phoenix, he was working in their research library. Disabilities have a lot of different faces. It has a lot of different, it could be anything. So when we work with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, it could be autism, Down syndrome, a learning disability. It's not just one disability, and there's a different face to every disability. Yep. And different abilities come with that person. So they could be great at research, but it's their choice, and that's what we hope to really include folks with disabilities, is to give them that opportunity to have choices in their lives, and we help support those choices.
That is fantastic, because every single individual has different wants and different needs, and you're making sure, you at the ARC are making sure,
yes.
at the ARC, St. Louis ARC, we got to make sure we get that in there.
Yes.
You're making sure that every single one of those incredible people you work with have that opportunity. I love that.
I do too. It's one of the best places I've ever worked. I wake up in the morning, I feel like I have a purpose, and while I am not on the program side and I do communications and the public relations part of it, I watch every day the hard work that happens with our frontline staff, our direct support professionals, which are amazing human beings, the people that are community support specialists. The one thing I do want to also mention is not just the people with disabilities that we support, but we have family navigators. So we have a whole whole department that supports families, because the families also need those supports and resources. It's not just the person with the disability. So we provide these supports and services and resources for families, so they have support groups, places like, if they need funding for things, we've helped find that funding for them. So yeah.
Yeah, that has to be most important, well, I mean, for all families, right? But particularly for your Bell services, your children's services, that where, a parent doesn't have I didn't have an owner's manual for my kids, and I would imagine for parents of a child with a disability, having that support becomes even more critical.
100%. So yes, we have one of the programs that we have, and the thing is, some of these programs are so valued and so needed that unfortunately we might have wait lists for them. Yeah. But we still should talk about them, because people need to know that those things are available, and down the road wait lists might go away. But Capable Kids and Families is a program where we have free equipment, lending equipment library for kids and their families. So developmental toys, different kind of engagement activities and things that families who may not be able to afford the equipment on their own or afford certain toys, and kids grow out of toys so quickly that having these different opportunities to get this equipment for gross motor skills and fine motor skills, etc. It's a free lending library, and that's one of those things that is available to families. And then we have a resource specialist that also comes along with the equipment to help show them how to use it, and then also help find them family resources if the family themselves also need additional resources.
That's terrific. And might we suggest that one way to lessen that wait list is to be able to hire more staff, and to be able to hire more staff, we need
more money.
More
exactly.
money.
The community, St. Louis community in general, the St. Louis region is one of the most generous communities there is in the United States. I mean, there are so many studies. We are such a generous community, and having that resource and having Give STL Day, United Way campaign, all these different opportunities for St. Louis to give, they come out and they give every time, and we are so incredibly grateful. $10, $100, $10,000, it doesn't matter. We're so grateful for everything that people give to us, and we just want to welcome you into the ARC family and have you join our circle, be it as a volunteer, as a donor, as a family, or a participant. We want to welcome you in and make you feel included with us.
I love the St. Louis ARC. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Kathleen.
Thank you. Really appreciate being able to be here.
Well, we love having you. So this Give STL Day, we always say give to one you know, one you don't know, and one you want to know. And if you didn't know the ARC before, maybe today it's one you want to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen, thank you so much. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Give STL Day Live continues.
Hi everybody, this is Emily Bauman from the St. Louis Community Foundation. Let's take a look at our upcoming Power Hours. So during these hours throughout the giving period, we have a $20,000 prize pool that's up for grabs. Every donation made during Power Hour, which are generously provided by our sponsor, is uplifted by that $20,000 prize pool. So if you want to make your dollar go further, donate during the hours you see on your screen now. The St. Louis Community Foundation would like to thank the sponsors that make Give STL Day possible. Give STL Day is powered by the St. Louis Community Foundation, presented by the Burgess Family Foundation. Our gateway sponsor is Purina. Our community sponsors are Cardinals Care, KMOB, Live on Your Side, the St. Louis Business Journal, and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Our friends at Give STL Day are War Computing and St. Louis Magazine. Our prize sponsors are the Association of Fundraising Professionals, St. Louis Chapter, Hemline Cares, Church Productions, Clifton Larson Allen, Boss Swim School, Incarnate Word Foundation, Nonprofit Marketers Network St. Louis, Splice,
Hi, my
and
name is
SSM
Tammy
Hub.
Laws, Director of the
Our decor
Comprehensive
partner
Flexible
is
Housing
Golden
Program
Theory.
here at Doorways. I'm here to tell you about our life-saving housing and supportive services. With a stable place to live, our residents can manage their HIV medication and their health. Residents can easily access resources like our provisions pantry, behavioral health counseling, career services, and skill building classes. Your donation to Doorways on Give STL Day helps the people we serve build a better future. On behalf of all Doorways residents, thank you for your generosity.
Take it away.
Here we are.
So we are back, and now we are back with Doorways and their CEO, Opal, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, I am thrilled to be here. Now that I've done some shameless self-promotion, I'm going to put this down.
Yeah, the sign with no stand. So, Opal, tell me a little bit about Doorways, what you do, what you're about, and that fantastic new building you just...
Yes, well, so I need to put this out there that Doorways is my favorite subject. That and my children, I can talk about it forever, so you just tell me when to be quiet. But we provide housing and healthcare opportunities to people living with HIV. We do that in Missouri and Illinois, based out of St. Louis. And those services range for folks who have very advanced illness who live in our Cooper House facility where they need 24-hour-a-day care. But thankfully, because of the medication regimens being as good as they are, and modern advances in healthcare, many of our folks just need some assistance from time to time. They'll have that health bout, they will have issues around employment or housing insecurity, and we can push in and provide them rent, mortgage, or utility assistance where they live, or to bring them, be that bridge out of homelessness. So our services range from everything in between. So we're very proud of what we've been able to do over the last 35 years to meet people where they are in their health journey and to get them what they need to live a full life and an independent life. So on to what you alluded to, which is our brand new 3-acre campus in North St. Louis. You can find us on North Jefferson Avenue at Gamble, where we have created what we think is the first of its kind model in the nation. We have a 3-acre campus encompassing of 50 housing units, what we call comprehensive flexible housing. And that is for folks who may be homeless or very housing insecure in some way, but who need a lot of services. So those folks live on the campus and they have access to our brand new headquarters, which has behavioral health services right on site. It has career services right on site, a food pantry right on site, and all types of self-sufficiency programming. We have a classroom, we have meeting spaces, we have a sculpture garden even, and soon a pharmacy right in place to help people get their medications and stay adherent to those medications and basically everything they need in between. So I think that the difference between Doorways, people will say, well, what's your secret sauce or what makes you unique as an individual? When you look at HIV and how it's treated or how it's approached, mostly in the community through this biomedical approach. That's what we do. We give medications and so forth, and that's how we treat people. But what we know after years and years of working with this population and years of research is that the social determinants of health is what actually helps a person achieve an undetectable status, which basically puts their HIV in remission, so to speak. And until you focus on housing, food insecurity, and all of those things, you cannot focus on your medication when you don't know where you're going to sleep that night. And so often our folks are dealing with homelessness and all of these other issues because HIV is rooted in poverty, discrimination, and things that affect marginalized populations and people of color. So that's what we do. We tackle HIV through the social determinants of health, but particularly housing. And that way, then we push in those medical pieces that are important, but those don't work without the housing.
Opal, your organization sent over a quick video that I'm going to play. You can listen to the video if you guys want to. You're going to put the headphones on. Elizabeth, I'm going to give you my headphones. And this is a vertical video, so it's actually going to play right between you guys here, so this will be fun.
Hi, my name is Tammy Laws, Director of the Comprehensive Flexible Housing Program here at Doorways. I'm here to tell you about our life-saving housing and supportive services. With a stable place to live, our residents can manage their HIV medication and their health. Residents can easily access resources like our provisions pantry, behavioral health counseling, career services, and skill building classes. Your donation to Doorways on Give STL Day helps the people we serve build a better future. On behalf of all Doorways residents, thank you for your generosity.
Wow, that's really great. Yeah, and Tammy's fantastic. She's one of our heroes at Doorways and just a person that's worked with the unhoused community for decades and just a superstar and just cares so much. That's another thing I think that sets us apart is like, for many people who work in this field, like this is their life's work. You know, this is a calling for them. That we want to treat our residents with love and respect and give them a lot of what many of them have been missing. You know, they're coming from situations of great stigma, where they haven't been understood, respected and loved. And people like Tammy bring that piece into their work. So it's much more than a home, it's a community.
Yeah. And I would imagine that because you have built that community and because you've built those trusted relationships with the staff, with the you know, sort of work family, that it does help when someone is questioning the medications or maybe wouldn't necessarily be following the protocols the way a physician might want them to, that you're there to build that up, to help that, hold that up.
Absolutely. You know, HIV has been called the loneliest disease. So folks are out there navigating this chronic illness on their own. Oftentimes they haven't told a family member or a friend just because there's such a stigma associated with it. And then when you look at the other factors that kind of exist with many of those that we serve, you're talking about sometimes developmental disabilities, low education, and you know, low resource individuals. It's hard enough for me to navigate the medical system in this country. I don't, you know, I'm still trying to figure out what co-insurance is, deductible, premium, all these different things, you know, myself. Don't tell anybody of that because I'm kind of in charge of all of that at work. But, you know, if that's difficult for us as folks with advanced degrees, running agencies, and, you know, with the wherewithal and the support to do it, how are you supposed to navigate these systems and understand how you take a difficult medication regimen and take care of yourself with a disease that is really tricky, you know? And so that's why it really does become important to have that trust with your care providers and the folks at doorways. See, the difference between, we're in the home. You know, like a medical case manager or the doctor sees this person every once in a blue moon. Doorway sees them every day. We see them at their best. We see them at their worst. We know what the needs are. We are oftentimes the first to point to a system or a symptom or an issue. And there's just that level of familiarity that other service providers don't have.
Yeah, and trust goes a long, long way.
Yeah, and it has to be earned.
Yep. It has to be earned and it has to be held, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy when we make it about the transaction of take your medicine, do what you need to do to stay in the housing. You know, when we make it transactional, then we lose people, right? But when we make it about relationship, then we hold on. And that's when change can take place.
Absolutely. And that's why we adhere to housing first principles and really try to make all of our programs person-centered, you know, and see where the individual is coming from and what they need, you know. I always tell our folks, it's like, we're not the experts in other people. We're here to give an offering. We're here to give some advice and what we know through our experience, but they have another lived experience. So let's let them bring themselves into, you know, the picture. They may not make every decision we want them to make, or we think, but we don't always know what's best because we haven't walked in their shoes and lived their journey. So let's do that with them, and then let's push in where we can and offer some opportunities, and together try to get on that path.
I love that. That's terrific. You know, keeping the person as the primary, right?
That's right.
Well, I don't want to leave today without asking you, Opal, about Give STL Day and Doorways. Do you have a goal for the day, or are you just out there?
Oh, we always have a goal.
Of course you do.
Of course we do. We would love to raise $5,000 today, and we just may have a donor who will match that.
Whoa, you just may
Just
have
may
the
have a donor who will match that. So I'd love to see this community come together and rally behind Doorways and issues around HIV and homelessness and everything that Doorways is there to tackle.
You know, I am so glad that we had this opportunity to hear from you and to hear about what Doorways does, but also to hear about those special circumstances, those acute needs that the folks that you work with are dealing with. And, you know, sometimes they're people that, you know, it's just harder to get the community to say, we really need to hold these folks in our hands. And people with HIV and people who are unhoused, sometimes those are those folks that are a little harder to get people to say, we're going to hold them in their hands. So today, donors, all of you out there listening, I sure hope that you will consider Doorways as you think about your Give STL Day giving. Remember, I said it before, I'll say it again probably 16,000 times. Give to one you know, give to one you don't know, and give to one you want to know. And I hope today you've learned a little bit more about why you want to know Doorways. Thank you, Opal.
Oh my God, my pleasure. Thank you. And thank you to the St. Louis community. You've always been good to Doorways for 35 years, and we hope we can continue to count on you.
Opal Jones, CEO of Doorways. Thank you.
Thank you, Opal. We'll be back in just a moment with our next nonprofit organization.
All right.
Welcome to Forest Park. We are here in front of the Muni. I've got my new friends from TrailNet. We've got Justin and Corinne. We're going to take a little walk together as I learn a little bit more about TrailNet, share that information with you. Corinne, it was great to meet you. What is TrailNet?
So TrailNet is a local advocacy nonprofit that's fighting to make our streets safer for people who bike, walk, and use public transit.
Okay. And what sort of programs do you guys put on throughout the year?
So we host bike rides throughout the year to encourage healthy, active lifestyles, and we do advocacy for better policies for people who bike and walk. So right now we're fighting to ban distracted driving in the state of Missouri, and we're fighting for better infrastructure for people who bike and walk around the region.
This is a beautiful time of year to be out here. Just learned that May is a big month for your organization, and you guys have a big recent win you want to tell us about also.
That's right, yeah. So it's a big month for advocates across the country. It's National Bike Month, it's May. We partnered with Metro Transit and a bunch of other organizations across the St. Louis area to put on events. Bike to Work Day on May 19th. We've got documentary screening coming up this week. All kinds of good stuff for people who want to get out on their bikes or encourage active living in the St. Louis area. And then we have some huge wins in 2023 already. In March, Mayor Char Jones in the city of St. Louis announced that she was going to give $40 million to safer streets.
Great! Yeah. We love to hear that.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Thank you to the mayor. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
It is Give STL Day, so do you guys have a specific fundraising goal today?
Our goal is to raise $3,000 today on Give STL Day in celebration of our 10th year with Give STL Day. It's always a really great opportunity to bring people together and support our organization and all the great organizations in St. Louis.
What is the day like here? I mean, you guys have been part of Give STL Day before. It's got to be a pretty cool, like, uplifting feeling to be part of it.
Yeah, this is our 10th year participating, and every year it generates a lot of revenue for our organization, and it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate all the great organizations that make our region successful. And I think being here today is a great example. We're in Forest Park. Forest Park Forever does a lot of great work, and we're in front of the Muni. another great organization located here in Forest Park. And we work together with a lot of community organizations in our daily work, so it's a great collaboration opportunity.
It feels great to be out here. We're getting our steps in very slowly as Greg is walking backwards with us. We're cranking it up to almost 1 mile an hour here. But this must be really great to see so many people taking advantage of all the wonderful open spaces all around the St. Louis area.
Yeah, it is. I was just telling Justin when we rode in here that I always love being in Forest Park because you see so many people out and about walking and biking, and it's one of the places in St. Louis that really prioritizes biking and walking mobility. So we want to have more places like this in St. Louis so people can get out and move around outside of their cars.
I feel like if I lived around here, I'd be running loops around this. What do we have here? This is the stage?
Yeah. I don't actually know what it's called.
We can go jump in the water and swim over there.
It's beautiful.
It sounds awesome. $10,000. We'll go jump in the water and swim to it tomorrow.
Perfect.
I just committed TrailNet. Guys, it's so wonderful to meet you. We want to ask you one more thing. If you could say one thing to a donor right now, you're going to have donors donating all day during Give STL Day, what would we say?
Thank you. Every dollar that you give helps us fight for Streets for All, for people who are biking, walking, using mobility devices. You're helping us make our streets safer places for everyone. So thank you.
She said it pretty well, huh?
She said it very well.
All right, guys, on the count of 3, we're going to give a big thank you, St. Louis. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Donate to TrailNet.
1, 2, mic check. 1, 2, mic check.
All right, Elizabeth, you ready? Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Wrong side. Yeah, take it away.
We are back live, and it is my great pleasure to introduce the CEO and President of the International Institute of St. Louis, Ray Obeson, who, a couple years ago around this time, I started hearing about the new CEO at International Institute, and I said to Nikki and Emily at the Community Foundation, we need to figure out who this guy is. We need to meet him. And then August 2021 happened. And with the fall of Kabul, all of a sudden, everywhere, we heard Mr. Obeson on all of the media talking about the influx of Afghan refugees and humanitarian parolees that were going to be coming. But that's only a little bit of the story of the International Institute. So, Ari, can you please tell me a little bit about the International Institute and all that you do?
Well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure for me to be here. And we're really grateful we have the opportunity today to be part of this beautiful day, Give STL. The International Institute has actually been around and part of this community since 1919. And the International Institute was started as a result of, came about at the end of the First World War. There had been many, particularly women who had moved out of Eastern Europe and settled in St. Louis. And a lot of men had gone to war and hadn't come back. And there was a need for these women to integrate the workforce. And the Institute really started out by providing English language for women to integrate the workforce, but then realized that it was more than just the need for them to learn English. There was a need for the Institute to provide pathways for them to be prosperous in this community, to provide humanitarian assistance to them. And over the years, the International Institute has been developing programs that have continued to support refugees and immigrants who have come into this community. The mission of the International Institute is to create opportunities for immigrants and refugees to thrive in this community in order to create a more welcoming, more prosperous, and healthy region for all. We have welcomed to this community Germans after the Second World War, Koreans after the Korean War, Vietnamese after the Vietnamese War, we saw in the 90s, Bosnians after the Balkan War, the Syrians after the Syrian War, and then more recently we've seen Afghans, Ukrainians, and we're receiving lots of Congolese into the community. And as we talk today, the world has never seen the number of refugees that it has now. Over 100 million refugees around the world. And unfortunately, these people come to us out of very traumatic circumstances. Fortunately, we have a community that is really welcoming, that welcomes them here and gives us the opportunity to play our part in these people becoming part of this community.
And you have done so much, not just over the last 105 years or 3 years or something, if I can do math, but in particular in the couple of years that you've been here in rebuilding those services that are so important as someone comes to our country new, having been traumatized, and being in a completely different place where their work skills may not be honored as they were at home. So amazing the work that you do at the International Institute. Before we go further about the Institute, tell me a little bit about Give STL Day and the International Institute. What are your goals? What are you hoping for? What are you raising money for today?
Well, first, let me say Give STL Day is really unique because it demonstrates who we are as a community. Yes. And how people have a desire to play their part in building a community that cares for one another, that doesn't, that stands with one another and that wants to grow together. So we really appreciate this, and even more importantly, that we're celebrating 10 years of Give STL Day, and hopefully this continues for the next 100 years, and that it continues to grow here in St. Louis as we continue to grow as a community. Our goal this year for Give STL Day is to raise $20,000.
That's good.
Last year we came close. We had $17,000. So we're trying to push ourselves a little bit more, and we're asking the community to come along with us and support us achieve this goal. We are close to the 9,000 mark as we speak, and we're hoping to get to 10,000 mark by 5 p.m. Today.
By 5 p.m. today, folks, that's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No, 14 minutes. And I think you can do that for the International Institute.
Yeah.
I think you can get that last $1,000-ish in the next 14 minutes. That's exciting.
Yes.
So, and thank you also for talking about Give STL Day and our 10-year anniversary. We're pretty excited about that ourselves. Okay, so $20,000. What does that get the International Institute?
So it's really important for me to say to people that the work of the International Institute, whilst it's providing services to immigrants and refugees, is actually helping to build a prosperous community.
Yep.
At the International Institute of St. Louis, we're going above and beyond what is expected of resettlement agencies. We are working to position St. Louis as an attractive location for every refugee or every immigrant that ever has the choice of making a decision on where to go to come to St. Louis. And the way that we're doing it is being creative, being innovative. We are at the verge, we have just signed a partnership with T-Mobile, and our goal is to provide to every immigrant that comes to this community a mobile phone for a 3-month period for free and a contract at a largely discounted price for a 2-year period. That will provide to them a savings over a 2-year period of at least $3,600 for a family of 2. So that's the goal that we really want to use that to invest on something innovative that no city in America is providing. So we want to stand out. And this is one of the many other things that we're thinking of doing now that we have already been doing with the Afghan Community Support Program. But resources like this help organizations like ours be creative to go above and beyond in serving the people that are our clients. And that's our goal this year.
And once upon a time we thought of cell phones as sort of a special little thing, something nice to have. But in today's world, that cell phone it really is your window to the world. It's how we communicate so much of the time. And I would imagine for refugees, for immigrants, it's also the way to connect back to home. Is that right?
Absolutely. Honestly, if you had asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said it's a luxury. But coming in as CEO during the pandemic, hearing the challenges that our clients were facing, it became clear to us that it was not just the cell phone, but even more access to the internet, because we're providing a phone, we are providing phone service, and we're providing internet for the home. So if you think about these three things, this is how we connect nowadays. Even making an appointment to come to the Institute, you need that connection. Nowadays, we're providing remote services for the many Ukrainians that have come to this community. Many of them are living not too close to the Institute. We have to be connected to them. So it's a necessity, it's not a luxury nowadays. And that's why, but at the level of the federal government, this is still seen as a luxury, so it's not funded. But we know that it has really been effective with us staying engaged with the Afghans, because that we did a pilot test and we're grateful for the help we got from the Community Foundation with the Welcome Fund. But that just opened our eyes even further, and we said there's no way we can move forward without providing this service to everyone who comes here. So we are being audacious, we're being innovative, but at the same time, this is the best way in which we want to stay connected to the people we serve.
I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. We've talked a lot at the St. Louis Community Foundation about the digital divide and trying to reach towards digital equity. And that's what you're talking about. You're talking about making sure that all these folks that are coming, that are our new neighbors and that are adding a great vitality to the St. Louis community, can fully integrate into our community. And make those doctor's appointments, fill out those job applications that you can only do online, all that good stuff. That's terrific. And as you say, that's innovative. What are some of the other innovations that you've been implementing? Because you've talked to me about some of them over the last year or so.
Well, we completely embraced what we call the Afghan Community Support Program. Right. Again, which is a program that's not done anywhere in America. But the idea was to ensure that the Afghans felt welcome. And beyond just the resettlement efforts, we wanted to create a community here for them. And so we created the Afghan Community Support Program. We know that the Afghans are entrepreneurial, so we have the entrepreneurship grant. We have put people through coding lessons. We have put 9 people through coding lessons. We have 1 more seat to go. We distributed to all of them iPads and mobile phones, all of those things. What we have seen as a result of that is that besides the number of Afghans that came here, we have seen a significant number of them, families, moving from other parts of the country to St. Louis. Those are things that we've done and we've learned from. But one thing that we know we cannot move forward without is solving the challenge of housing. And so we are at the verge of starting a housing initiative that would provide transitional housing, rental housing, and hopefully encourage our new arrivals to own homes here in the city, which will keep them here for generations. But housing is just one piece of it. We want to provide holistic services around us, the housing initiative, that will accelerate the integration of people into the labor market here, that we hope will ignite and address some of the labor challenges that we have in this community. But it will give our new arrivals the ability to earn incomes that will enable them to have their families stay and grow in this community for generations, because that's what we need. So more than just serving immigrants and refugees, our job, like many other organizations, is building this community, building a thriving community. And we are thinking innovatively about how we make that happen.
Wow. It's amazing all that you are doing and how you're bringing these fresh eyes to the importance of our immigrant neighbors and what we need to do to support them. I think that in and of itself is a reason to make sure that the International Institute hits its $20,000 goal by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and your $10,000 goal in the next 6 minutes. So 6 minutes, guys. Let's get that happening. Remember, www.givestl.org, and you can just search for the International Institute. Hooray. Thank you so much for being with us here today at Union Station. We love working with you in the International Institute, and we're so happy that you could join us and talk to us a little bit about what you do and about Give STL Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ray. It's great to meet you. Elizabeth, we are wrapping up our, let me see if can I still squeeze on camera there? There's me. Hello.
There we are. Hi, everybody.
We're doing the best we can. 5 minutes to 5 o'clock here at Union Station. Elizabeth, thank you so much. You're such a natural here. This is so wonderful to have you here. These conversations, we hope you've enjoyed listening to it at home as much as I hope you've enjoyed having these conversations.
Absolutely. And, you know, I have the best job in the world because I get to work with all the nonprofits in our community. People like you've seen in the last hour, and people like you'll see again over the next few hours. So stay tuned, give early, give often, and remember, one you know, one you don't know, and one you want to know. Thanks, everybody.
Let's sign off. I'm going to play one more video for you as we sign off, and we'll be back at 6 o'clock. But for now, let me introduce you to our friends at the Missouri Botanical Garden.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Ampadu, and today I'm with Glenda Agnew of the Botanical Garden. How are you doing today, Glenda?
We're doing well. So glad we're here to talk about Give STL Day.
Definitely glad to be here. Glad for you having us here. So I just want to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the Botanical Garden?
Absolutely. Missouri Botanical Garden is a phenomenal place to visit. It's a phenomenal place for people to be able to support. We do work not just on the beautiful 79 acres here, but also at our off-site locations and in the community, which is what Funding Today for Give STL Day will help, is the work that our Sustainability Division does in the community.
Excellent. And what would you say has been the greatest impact that you've seen from the Botanical Garden in the community?
So it's really amazing. We have one of the world's largest herbariums. We do research in 36 countries around the world. We have beautiful horticulture displays and conservation horticulture for people to learn from. But also we educate so many people, and we provide sustainable solutions for people as well. So we are working not just to green our own garden and advance our energy efficiency and our stormwater development aspects, but we're doing that out into the community as well and helping other people learn how to do that. So you could pick a variety of things in terms of the incredible benefit of the garden.
Awesome. This is great stuff. And you mentioned the people, which is obviously the most important part of what we do. What would you say are some of the people that come out to see the garden? Where do they come from, and what do they like to see when they're out in the garden?
Excellent question. Our various audiences that come to the garden, so we have members and visitors and all kinds of people that are interested in coming to the garden. People will come because they're looking for a beautiful place, a place of respite, a place to be able to just relax and learn, but also a place of beauty and to learn more about plants. We also this year have this incredible display of chihuly that's going to be on for the summer, so please come out to see chihuly. Chihuly at night is an even better display, so make sure that you come both, one time during the day and one time at night. But we also serve an incredible amount of audiences with our community programs. So we serve children, we serve family members, schools, businesses, municipalities, and all kinds of audiences that are out there that want to advance in their sustainability work.
Fantastic. And speaking about audiences, this year, as you know, we're having Give STL Day, and this is such a wonderful opportunity for new eyes to see the botanical gardens. What would you say is the biggest impact that the botanical gardens have had with the St. Louis Community Foundation?
You know, having the St. Louis Community Foundation coordinate Give STL Day here in St. Louis is amazing. We are so proud to be one of the 800 plus nonprofits that are participating this year. The monies that come into us will do a variety of things. For $15, you could support us having a Camp Earthways Young Green Builders program, a summer camp for kids. For a little bit more, you could help us get a stormwater model out into the community for kids to learn from that. And for even more, you can help us actually in a career program where we take young adults who are looking for different career options who don't even realize that horticulture and landscaping options are out there for them. There's incredible career opportunities. Those are the kinds of things that we're going to be able to do with the gifts that come in to Missouri Botanical Garden this year in Give STL Day.
That's fantastic. We're so happy that you had us for this event, Glenda. And we definitely want to thank you for all that you do, and we can't wait to see you on Give STL Day.
We'll be there. We love Give STL Day. Thank you for everything that you guys do and for all the support that everybody is going to provide.
Give STL Day is all about the donors. What message do you have for those who are going to donate or who have donated to the Botanical Garden during Give STL Day?
Donors to Give STL Day make a huge impact. For us at Missouri Botanical Garden, and particularly in our sustainability division of Earthways Center, our donors are the ones that are helping to spread the word about what we're doing in the community. Our donors are helping us to be able to actually provide that kind of service out into the community. We have contracts that we provide, but very little general supportive monies come into our division, but they comes in through Give STL Day. So our donors on Give STL Day make all of this possible. And if you could actually tell your friends and family about it as well, we'd love to expand the understanding and knowledge that Missouri Botanical Garden is working very strongly in sustainability work in the community, all because of the donors like those that come in at Give STL Day. On behalf of Missouri Botanical Garden, thank you, St. Louis!
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis.
Thank you, St. Louis.